What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Alex here from Team Generations, and today we're here to discuss some of the market trends that we are seeing coming right out of Premium Collection, a bunch of these reveals that we are getting week to week. So we see a lot of people on Twitter talking about different units, different decks, things of that nature that are really starting to pick up in popularity. Obviously, we have results from Antwerp, we have results from, I believe it was, California as well, for Premium, for Overdress as well as V. So a lot of market movement in general, and let's take a look at it, because we're going to hop right in. We're going to do something a little bit different. I know I missed last week, but it's just because whenever I was doing it, I think it was right in the middle of a reveal, and I was like, let me redo this now, and then I just didn't feel like doing it, so I skipped last week. But let's hop right into this week's with just looking at the clan selection. So I'm seeing a lot of people on Twitter talking about playsets of this and that are going, and really, I guess things are becoming a little bit more relevant. Gear Groovy went up by 10 cents or something like that, so there are things that are moving, but in general, there's nothing absolutely mind-boggling out of this set. Things are starting to become like dollar cards, and for a set that retailed for like 90-something dollars, I think, it was really expensive for this set. For things to reach $1, it's just a matter of time, I guess. So if you are looking to pick stuff up, I would say, go ahead and do it, only if you're looking to play it. I don't think that these things are going to become crazy value or anything like that. This was an open set, but at the same time, I don't think there's any crazy hidden value in this. I think we've probably hit one of the mature peaks in the set in general. So long-term value, I don't think is really there. Pick up what you need. It's all cheap. Just do it. Next up over here too, obviously everybody's talking about this card, wanting it to be banned and so on and so forth. It goes well with the new Stride, and the market has reacted to that. We see that over here, Guilty Empress Darkface Gridora is bought out. You cannot get any regular copies at the time of recording. We see that today is $4.12. Yesterday they were all bought out for that $15-16 price point, as well as the hot stamp versions as well. So if you're looking to get those, not anymore. So they sold for about $20, and we see that they all got bought out yesterday. Maybe somebody will list them on the market, I'm not sure, but as of right now, just an insanely hot Stride. It is probably the best deck right now in Premium. We saw Solemn just won with this over in Antwerp, so everybody's kind of on this hype train at the moment. If you have your copies, you can set the floor for this. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see copies of this start becoming $25, and this might be on the chopping block for a ban list or restriction, something like that, because a lot of people are calling for it. So if you have your copies, not really playing the deck, I probably would sell them right now. Next up over here too, we just yesterday got from Vanguard Insider from Eric, we just got some of the Gear Chronicles report, and we're looking back at some of the older stuff as well that you still probably will need in the G Zone. We see that there is some movement, so people are buying some of these History Maker dragons. I think I bought a couple of these the other day as well, and I'm just trying to let you know, hey, look, if you want these, buy them. This is probably the time, because these prices right now, there's 15 copies at $8.65. I don't know how long it would hold. I think the line should be kind of more around that $10 mark. This is an extremely expensive set, some of the strides in this over here, so we'll go over that as well. But this is kind of one of those value things where if you want to play the deck, I would probably pick this up for that $8 price tag or whatever it is right now. I don't think you need 4 of them, but overall Premium right now for Gear Chronicle is pretty nuts. People are buying out Steam Maiden Melon. We see there's no more copies. This got bought out yesterday at that $13-10 price range. You cannot buy this, and this combo's off with History Maker, I think, with what was it too? Man, there was another card, I forgot the name of it off the top of my head, but this is essential pretty much in the TikTok worker or whatever. And the other version of it, the only 2 versions, one of them was in the Revival Collection. There's only 1 listing for $8 over here, so really it's $12 because $4 shipping on that's pretty crazy. So a lot of the support is getting bought out. People are, even the clans that you don't think will really be hot, still have those banger cards, and there's hidden value across all the different things. And over here too, this is another option you can put in that G Zone. Just something I wanted to show as well, because people are picking up copies of this, even though it shows that the value is declining. Market price at $8.46. We see you can pick up copies for around that $7 kind of price range, but once you pick up 2 copies, the price tag kind of goes over to that $9.70, and $10 becomes a more expensive card. So another card that I would say, if you are looking to play Steam, Gear Chronicles, Steam Maiden, whatever you want to call it in Premium, I would definitely pick this up now. Not lastly, but over here, moving on then, this is Premium Collection 2020. Still, Geoma Glass is pretty much not sold out, but there's only 1 listing for Strictly Broken at that $40 price range for the SR version. I think the regular versions are pretty bought out as well, and people are buying it. We see $4.7, $4.9. People are buying it for pretty insane prices overall. People are pretty big on this Premium Collection. They want to play the format, so it's pretty exciting stuff. Over here too, we see that Witches are making a lot of, splashes in V, but at the same time, in Premium too, you can still play it. This is still a Witch over here, so it does pair up with some of that new support, so you can put a unit on top of your stride, so you can do a multi-attack with this, which is really great. And we just see that people are actually interested in this card. This is being purchased for that $10 price range. I don't think it's going to move too much, but it's got an $8.58 market price right here, and we see the price of this card kind of starts once these copies are bought out. You start to see like an $11, $15 kind of floor, which is definitely an uptick. So again, if you want this card, now is the time to buy. The market is really hot for premium. Speaking about hot, obviously Stunverse over here has been a banger card for so long, but this over here, there's only one copy of the SR version for $40. I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple more copies come on the market in the next couple days and still stick around that like $30 to $40 price range. But honestly, these are very expensive. These did get bought out at that $25 price range over here as of today. Actually, all of these got bought today, so that is actually really crazy. Again, such a good deck. We have a profile on the channel. Follow us on Twitter too. I used this deck last week at locals. I took first. Just such an amazing deck. And then over here too, we see various few listings, still only 3 copies at $35 for the base copy, as well as $30 for just one over here. So there's just one playset of this available. And the new Narukami Stride honestly is amazing. So if you don't have money maybe to, or you're just not willing to spend that kind of money on this card over here, maybe just wait for the premium collection, because yeah, you can go into Sunverse, but honestly in some testing, like most of the time you just want to go into that new Stride, and it does a whole lot of work for you. So very good card overall. Over here too, a clan that like is always flying under the radar, but is actually crazy expensive some parts of the G zone. We're gonna be talking about Great Nature. So Omniscience Dragon Managarmer. I don't know how to say it really, but this guy is starting to tick way above its market price, $565 for the market price. We see that copies were selling the late last month, I guess, and in anticipation of this result over here, or the announcement. But we see copies now are going around that $10 mark, $7 plus 2, $9 here. If you are looking to pick this up, I think this is still used in the G zone. I'm not like a huge Great Nature player, but I'm planning to convert my Big Belly deck to premium. I'm looking to pick up that new Stride, so I think this definitely is being used. It's hard to say buy it now or not. I think that the demand really isn't like high, but at the same time, you do need it. If you are looking to play it, like why not pick it up for that price? Over here too, something that I would say wait on this Omniscience Dragon Al Mirage. I think that's how to say it. I feel like I'm saying a Yu-Gi-Oh card over here, but this guy is $21 market price of $13. It was expensive at $13, now $21. It looks like somebody bought out all of them a couple days ago, so 17, 26. Yeah, really absolutely insane that people are buying this G guard for that price. Like it's pretty good. Like the resist whole thing is fine and gets around like, oh god, what was it? The chicken for Kagero, and maybe some of the Narukami G guards too that kind of rest things or pop them or whatever. But overall, I don't really think that's like the most necessary card and won't like break the deck. So over here too, another G guard that is absolutely insane, Head of Bastion Ardillo. So this card is nuts again. So market price of $9 all the way up to $30. You saw that yesterday. Somebody bought one copy for $12 the day before, so $12. All of a sudden, we have no more copies of this. This is $30 for this over here, and I think the new G guard for them is pretty decent. So I'm not buying these G guards. It's just too much. It's not worth it. I feel like the deck might be competitive, but not really at like the highest tier level, and I wouldn't use it in competitive events at the moment unless I really tested it. So I'm not willing to pay that. I would say hold out on this one. And then lastly, this was almost a meme the other day, Lesser Rider. So this guy is very good in the clan. I would say it's pretty necessary. It's unfortunate that it's so expensive right now. This did get bought out. Let's view the whole sales history. Yeah, these were going for pretty cheap, $2 here and there. It was pretty cheap, and then boom, somebody decided, hey, look, the new Stride's coming out. Let's jack this up in price. We see playsets are going for about almost $100 for a playset of this. You're looking for about $90 around that price range. Absolutely crazy. I would say wait on this. Maybe this will be up for like a reprint eventually. I'm not really sure, but at the same time, it is very good for the clan. And if you do want to, you want to play the clan, I guess you need it, but it's just really interesting to see it at that price point. And over here too, I know Shadows is getting a lot of love. I think that the new Stride for Shadows is very good. Chain Rancor Dragon is still very good as well, and I think that in general, you still need it in the deck, and I think people realize that, and they're purchasing it for that $14, $19, $20. Yeah, now this is just a very expensive card overall. Premium Collection 2020 definitely aged like wine. It is a banger set when it's all said and done. People use the strides, people love the strides in this, and very expensive for Shadow Paladin. Shadow Paladin's always been that way. But going on towards like the later half of some of this premium stuff over here, I do want to talk about like value picks. The regular version of this over here went up to like $4, $8, and that jumped from like $1.50, $2 kind of price range, and I could see this guy kind of jumping as well. People do want them. These are moving off the shelf. I think that the price of this could increase, to be honest. We see that over here after these copies are kind of done. We see it starting to approach that $10 price mark. I wouldn't be surprised if it did, but at the same time, I think it might hold around that $8. But this might be a value pickup, something to hold on to for the long term, because it is a very good stride, actually. And something, too, that is like sneakily just kind of increased over the past couple months. You know, you used to be able to get this for like $1, $2. Now this is a $5 card, Zanburst Dragon. So this is for Kagero, their stride. Very generic. You can go in any G zone, honestly. Most, you know, right now, the most competitive variant of Kagero. It doesn't really even need a G zone. So it's interesting to see this. But we see that copies are being purchased very recently, $5, $2, whatever the case is. And we see that it is kind of just holding that $5 price range, but copies are moving over here. I don't think it's really going to go past that, but it is interesting to see that, you know, a couple months ago, it was just $2. Now it's all the way up to $5, so more than doubled in value. Another card too that you probably will need for your Aquaforce G-Zone. Again, just coming out of that premium collection 2019. 2019 might have been honestly a little bit better than 2020 in value, in some of the value picks. Depends on what clan you're looking at in general, but this guy over here is still increasing in price. I see it is a $7 market price, but over here copies are moving. We saw that yesterday, two copies were sold, day before that, whatever. Like, this is still definitely needed in the G-Zone, and I would say while it's still cheap, pick it up, because I don't think it's going to really increase too much, but I could see it start to tick upwards, just like the general trend. And time's really shown with this set that, like, the more time goes by, the more value in general, the higher the floor really goes. So if you want this, if you want to invest in Aquaforce, I would definitely pick it up. Same with the Genbold over here as well. It's still pretty cheap. And again, another value pick over here for just $2. This card is actually really good, Villain Verminous. So this came out in 2020 as well, and this is really like, I love this card in my Rising Nova kind of, or Rising Greedon kind of premium deck. I think that it is kind of like almost your win card most of the time, because you really, if you can't go into like a Rising Greedon kind of turn, you go into this, and it's still very, very effective, especially with the new stride that we are getting. It's super generic. It's such a good card overall. So I would say maybe look at picking up a copy or two of this, market price of $147. You see that copies are selling over here today, yesterday. You know, people are purchasing this, and I think that it is a pretty good value right now. And if you want shiny cardboard, it's the SR version again, go for it. And kind of transitioning now over to V, I think in general, we are seeing still excitement for the format. People want to play V, people still like it. In general though, this card is finally seeing some meta play. I always thought like this deck is actually crazy. It's high roll, it can win against anything, it can lose against anything, and at the same time, finally copies of this are being sold. So we're seeing this sold for $90, $89, kind of around that $90 price range. And, you know, movement finally on this card. There was like no sales for like the longest time when this first came out. This is Revenger Raging Full Reverse VSR, and of course we're seeing over here the market price now is at the floor $100 with Magic Satchel right there, and it goes all the way up to that $275, which is kind of crazy. I don't think that's really what it should be. But moving on as well, another card that is making a meta impact right now, Origin Deity of Heavenly Light, Uranus. So Uranus is another card. I always talk about the Astral Fours. I think it's like the most slept on set. There's just hidden value all over that set, in the double rares, in 2 or 3 of the VRs, I think, for that as well, or 2 or 4, one of them. I think that the set in general is really, really good, and it has like a lot of hidden potential. This card is making a meta impact. You cannot get a playset, I don't think. You know, you can get, there's one playset, and again, it's going to run you over $100. This card is definitely, is good. I don't know, the deck itself, I could see why it is being played in the top team. I think it wasn't Psalm that played, I think it was Astral Susano or something, but he won the Antwerp Springfest with this, I believe. Yeah, so it is definitely a solid card, and I don't think the floor has been reached for this card either. This is absolutely insane. It really hurts to see this. It's $38 per copy of Night Rose. Night Rose is a very, very good card, extremely competitive, and we see that people are purchasing it for that price. Unfortunately, $40. This is definitely one of the cards that just absolutely need a reprint. Whenever we do get like a V reprint set, very, very expensive, and I think the SP version is even way more so. Talking about a card, I think this actually just updated because there wasn't this many copies before, right, when I clicked on it before, but this guy over here is still $30 for a playset of Vanquisher. And again, I'm not saying they're a bad seller, just have 0% right now, but you know, from a reputable seller, that's $31. Yeah, you're still looking over $120 for a playset of this card. Jatora is still extremely expensive. I think we're starting to see deck lists without Jatora just because people I don't know, don't want to spend that much money on it. I really don't know off the top of my head, but Draconic Vanquisher is still expensive, both for premium and for V. Extremely good deck. Another funny meme over here. This is not actually a meme anymore, because this actually was on a topping team in Antwerp. This is Nur Huga, so this is the Stealth Fiend deck, and I really love this deck. I thought, like, for the longest time, I'm like, wow, I could high roll anybody. I can, like, come and spam and, like, just shit on anybody I want, and we saw results this past weekend, so this is kind of another one of those value picks where right now we saw one of them was purchased a couple days ago. They're super cheap right now. I don't think they're going to go up in price really, but again, if you want a fun deck that actually can perform despite what people say and just really surprise them, hit them with this like rogue element, I think Stealth Fiend Nur Huga in SP is actually a really good investment. Over here too, just talking about a lot of these meta cards that have been making a splash, no pun intended with Bermuda, but Prism Image Vert is finally increasing in price. We saw that the market price is $7.78 over here, but playsets are going for about $10, $11 over here, and once these two playsets are kind of bought out, we see them going well over that, or just over that $10 price range. So very expensive card. You know, you could have picked this up for a couple dollars back when the set first came out. Even months later, a year later, when everyone knew it was the best deck, it was still like $5 a copy. So we're seeing this kind of double in value over the past like 6 months or so. Let's bring up this chart here. 6 months. So we saw, yeah, back then you could purchase it for, you know, $5, $6. All of a sudden everyone's blowing it up. Then the restriction hit, and then boom, everybody realizes too the restriction didn't hit it that hard. Solemn obviously just won as well with this deck, so I think it's still a pretty good deck overall. DI is really interesting as well. There is a lot of movement. A lot of people are thinking and speculating on this DI deck for premium, but in V, I think Amon is actually really good, and Number of Terror is really helping that out. So this is an old card, doesn't has one other printing. I think it's just an SP version. Let's just see. Where is the Number of Terror? No, that's the old version. Yeah. So this card has only one printing. Copies are selling for about $5 a copy. This was around like $7 previous this week, but I just want to point out that like when this happens, when these cards that are like double rares, things like that, like spike all of a sudden, people kind of go crazy. People post them everywhere. Oh my gosh, can't believe this card. Then people realize, oh, I have this card, let me list it, and they'll be a little bit more motivated than some of those people that held for a long time that were charging like $7, and they'll start listing it for like $5. And I still think $5, not to say it's steep for this card, and it definitely is good, but it's definitely, I don't know, I could see this being like $2, $3 and being worth it. $5, kind of tough. I already have my playset, so I can't really speak, but at the same time, if you do need them for Amon, I think they're really, really good, so if you need them, you need them. Over here too, this is kind of more like premium and V kind of together with Death, No Life King, Death Anchor. In V, it's not really doing too much. You can use this with Amon, but overall, people are hot on this card right now. Like it's been sold out the past couple days. We see that copies are flying off the shelf, and the market price is $15.55, but at the same time, we now see that there are only copies around that $20, $22, $25 price range. If you want a place out of this, you're looking again over, what was that? Just about $100 for this guy. So really actually pretty nuts. And this really, I think, is attributed to premium. People want this for go into the NLK Barrow kind of play and then go into your Stride, which is really good. I think it's actually decent. People are bashing the card. Again, I'm not really a DI player big time, but I know it. I play it, I guess. I play against it, so I still think it's a pretty good deck. And I just wanted to mention too, we will kind of go over Overdressed in just a second, but this is going to be Master of Gravity Barrow Magnus. This guy is actually going up in price big time because A, it's good in Overdressed, B, it is used for that premium combo over here. So the new floor for this card is $4.95. You see the market price is $3.26. You know, copies of this used to be had for like $1. So again, there is value in the long term, I guess, if you're holding it. And these competitive seasons really start to drive the market upwards. We see just everything in general becoming a little bit more expensive. You know, one tournament will kind of flip a card and make it a lot more expensive. People see the list, be like, oh, I want this, boom, buy it out. So I think $4.95 for this card, fair enough price. We might get another copy of this, I'm not sure, in the what was it, the new festival collection, like a new version, the way we got Orpheus and the way we got what was it, forgot the first one that we got over there. Oh, Zorga as well. So yeah, over here too, lastly for the V series, wrapping up, Cosmic Regalia Yggdrasil, I think that's how to say it. Market price at $15, and we see it is going. People are buying this card. This is a good card. I think it was actually, did it do something in V? I think it was one of the topping teams ran a V Regalia deck. So pretty interesting. And then it is used in premium as well. So price of this guy, $15 market price, like I said. $20 for a playset, you're looking at $80, or what was it, 24? Yeah, $80 for a playset of this. This is actually a pretty expensive card. And Genesis right now is hot. You can use absolutely any boss unit from this clan and actually have it be good. We have the Yatagarasu profile. Not sure if it'll be out by the time I'm posting this video, but I just recorded that, so be on the lookout for that as well. And then lastly for V and slash premium over here, still Draconic Overlord. The cross is expensive, $18 market price, and we're seeing this purchased for a whole lot more. It's $20 over here. You know, for a playset, again, you're looking at over $80, which is pretty crazy. So overall, get used to that. And then let's just go into the last set, Awakening of Chakya Barthi, see if any movement is happening here. Let's just go through it together. Relevancy, I guess the triggers are pretty relevant. Wow, $2 on that, pretty bad. $16 still for Bastion. We see people possibly getting ready for Eugene, I think, with that one. Travis. Oh my god, Pulse Dragon still insane. Pure Light still up there, kind of beating its market price. I guess the market price did fall. Anything else too crazy? I don't think so. Bruce is actually pretty good. I think I finally discovered the list that I want to run. Nirvana dropped a bit. This is still insane. Brainwash Whirler, absolutely great card. Prism, wow, Roaming Prism Dragon going up as well. So we do see that there is some movement in this set, but let's hop into Genesis of the 5 Greats and let's probably complain about the Overtrigger and so on and so forth. So let's go Genesis. Blah, blah, blah. I'll just click on this. Let's go to the set here. $5 for the PGs, $460. Okay, I guess that's not as bad as I expected. I guess I'm been conditioned to think this way at this point, but these guys are, yeah, wow, for Brandgate, that is pretty expensive. Let's see over here. Where are the OTs? Let's go. Anything else crazy that I see? Yeah, OT right here, $11 is not bad. Let's go for the Great Zeros. Okay, let's switch this to high to low, I mean. These are actually ticked up. Wow, that's good. I have one of those. These are, yep, $25 now for a Nova Trigger for Keter. $24 for the SP version, which is not bad. $31. This was at like $41, $45 the other day, which is crazy. $27 again. Oh my god, if you were watching these previously, I told you guys to pick them up. They are still just absolutely insane. And again, I'll just say it over and over. Barrier to entry to this game is, this is not what you want to see. You can make people use vanilla triggers, that's fine, but at the same time they want to use the good ones, and you know, you're really limiting your player base for both premium and overdress if you are kind of not reprinting these over triggers. So I think they definitely need to be reprinted. But in general, I think that's all I wanted to wrap up with today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know these are a little bit long, almost at 1,000 subs, so if you haven't subbed already, please do so. Thank you guys so much. This is Alex from Team Generations signing out.